What if the sun exploded tomorrow? Just imagine, 1 minute we're all busy with our lives, going about our daily routines, and then boom! The sun, our very own giant ball of nuclear fire, decides it's had enough. It's done with being the center of attention, the life bringer, the reason we're all here, and just explodes. The first thing that might surprise you is, we wouldn't know right away. It takes light from the sun about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach us. So even if the sun exploded at this exact moment, we'd still be blissfully unaware for a few minutes. We could be walking the dog, having breakfast, or scrolling on our phones, completely clueless that our star just went kaboom. Imagine, you're sitting there, sipping coffee, and suddenly, wham! Everything goes dark. No dawn, no dusk, no sunlight at all. Just pitch black darkness, like someone flipped off the biggest switch in the universe. That would be our first clue that something had gone terribly, terribly wrong. And in that first moment of darkness, it would hit us. Something is off, way off. And then, just as we're trying to figure out if it's a massive solar eclipse or the world's worst power outage, we'd feel it. The Earth, as it floats in the darkness, starts to shiver a little. Why? Because along with light, there's another thing speeding towards us, the shock wave. When stars like the sun explode, they send out a powerful shock wave of energy and particles, and it's coming straight for us. Hold on to your hats, folks. This cosmic wind would hit Earth like the universe's largest slap, messing with our magnetic field and electrifying the atmosphere. Power grids? Gone. Satellites? They're basically toast. Phones, internet, all our precious gadgets. Say goodbye. And then, there's gravity, or lack of it. The sun's explosion would mean that the gravitational pull holding all the planets together would be, well, missing in action. Imagine the planets like kids in bumper cars, suddenly set loose. Earth wouldn't just sit there politely. We'd start drifting off into space, no longer tethered by the sun's pull. Now where exactly we'd go? Well, that's anyone's guess. Without the sun's gravity, we'd be floating through the Milky Way like a runaway planet. In the days following the explosion, temperatures would start dropping like crazy. Remember, our sun is the only thing keeping Earth warm enough for life. Without it, things would get chilly. Fast. How chilly? Well, we're talking temperatures that would make Antarctica look like a beach vacation. Within a week, Earth would plunge to around minus 100 degrees Celsius, cold enough to freeze oceans solid from the top down. Imagine trying to go to your favorite beach only to find a giant frozen wasteland stretching as far as the eye can see. Now, with the oceans frozen, life on the surface would be in big trouble. Trees, plants, animals, anything that needs sunlight or warmth would be out of luck. Most animals would freeze, plants would stop photosynthesizing, and life as we know it would start fading fast. Our beautiful, lively Earth would become a cold, silent, dark rock drifting through space. Only the luckiest, hardiest life forms, like certain bacteria and microbes, might manage to hang on by a thread, deep underground or around thermal vents in the ocean, which stay warm from Earth's core heat. But above ground? Well, let's just say you wouldn't want to be out there. And here's a mind bender. If the sun exploded, there wouldn't be a beautiful, fiery show in the sky. Nope. The sun's explosion, known as a supernova, would be so far away and so quick that we'd likely just see darkness. No big Hollywood-worthy fireworks. The light from the explosion would blast out into space, but the sun would disappear so fast that all we'd see is an eerie, pitch-black sky with only the faraway stars for company. And speaking of stars, if you think they'd provide a little light and warmth, think again. Even the brightest star in the sky is barely enough to cast a shadow here on Earth. Stars are so far away that they couldn't begin to replace the sun's light. So we'd all be stumbling around in the dark, like someone forgot to pay the cosmic electricity bill. So let's talk survival. What would we do? Well, the people who managed to stay alive would probably head underground, huddling together in bunkers, caves, or even deep subway stations to escape the brutal cold. These places would be the new cities of Earth, filled with whatever food, water, and supplies people could grab before heading down. Our cozy cities with streetlights, restaurants, and shopping malls. Yeah, forget about those. Our new home would look more like the inside of a freezer with campfires scattered around for warmth. And if you thought life without sunlight would just mean a few extra sweaters, guess again. Plants wouldn't be able to grow, so food would become a huge problem. Humanity might resort to growing food with artificial lights powered by generators, or we'd have to rely on hydroponic systems, using whatever we could scrape together. Or maybe we'd eat whatever animals or insects managed to survive with us underground. Yum! Who's up for some crispy cricket chips? As the months turned into years, Earth would keep getting colder and colder. With no sun to keep it in check, temperatures would eventually drop to hundreds of degrees below zero. Imagine everything freezing solid, the land covered in snow and ice. Forests would turn into frozen sculptures, cities would be buried under thick blankets of frost, and the oceans would be solid blocks of ice stretching as far as you could see. Earth would start to look like one of those frozen moons way out in the solar system. We'd be living on a planet where even a snowball fight would be impossible because, well, everything would be frozen solid. In this icy darkness, only the most resourceful people might survive, creating underground societies, scavenging for food, huddling around whatever heat sources they could find. It would be like living in a sci-fi movie, with everyone bundled up, faces lit by the dim glow of flashlights, telling stories of the sun they once knew. Maybe there'd be a brave few who'd venture out onto the surface now and then, wrapped up in suits to keep from freezing in seconds, just to see what the world looks like. They'd come back to tell tales of a white, silent Earth, a place so cold and desolate that it would make the North Pole look like a tropical paradise. And as if things couldn't get any stranger, there's one last wild twist. If the sun exploded, Earth would start drifting toward the nearest star, attracted by its gravity. This journey would take hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of years, but eventually, Earth would become a wandering planet, traveling through space. Imagine that, a lonely, frozen world, like a cosmic hitchhiker looking for a new star to orbit. It would be like a road trip across the universe, with Earth traveling through the vast emptiness of space, passing by distant stars, all while frozen and lifeless. Who knows what strange things we'd see out there? Alien planets, giant gas clouds, maybe even other wandering planets like us. Earth would be a cosmic explorer, drifting through the galaxy on a journey that would make every sci-fi story look tame in comparison. But before we get too carried away, let's breathe a sigh of relief. The sun isn't expected to explode anytime soon. In fact, scientists say we've got about 5 billion years before the sun even starts thinking about going supernova. So we're safe for now. So if tomorrow the sun doesn't explode, take a moment to enjoy its warmth and light. Bask in it, because it's what keeps life on Earth possible. And hey, now that you know what it'd be like if the sun did explode, maybe you'll appreciate it a little bit more. Keep your sunglasses handy, enjoy those sunny days, and remember to look up once in a while. Our friendly neighborhood star isn't planning to go anywhere for a long, long time.